7 here and welcome back to another video. In today's video I am going to be explaining what changed about relog square proofing in the 1.18 update, and if you don't know what that is, I'll explain that first. So if you have ever used trapdoor triangulars, you will know that if you relog while it's running or just open the trapdoor in general for too long, the Trident will fall down and then the trapdoor will no longer update it because it's on the block below the trapdoor. But there is a way you can fix that, and that is by relogging. In the previous versions, relogging would fix it straight away and the Trident would glitch back on top of the trapdoor again. As you can see, the Trident has glitched on top of the trapdoor and is now higher than the one without the trapdoor. But the problem is it's still not updating, and the reason for that is that it still thinks it's on the glass block below it, even though in reality it's on top of the trapdoor now. And you can fix this by updating the block below it, like breaking it or moving it with a piston, and that will then update the Trident when the trapdoor flicks. Now of course, moving it with a piston or breaking the block isn't really that viable in Trident killers, so there is another way you can fix this. Let the Tridents fall from these trapdoors on top of some blocks to show you which blocks work and which don't. Regular solid blocks don't work. As you can see, the Trident isn't updating at all, and things like slabs also don't work. But glass panes and trapdoors or anything in general which does change its hitbox does work, and the Trident doesn't think it's still on top of the glass pane. As you can see, when I flick the trapdoor, the Trident will fall. That means it is updating. Same happens with the trapdoor and the extended piston arm. And you can use things like iron bars as well and other things that change their collision box. I'm just showing these two because they're the best collision box in that category. Also, I don't know, for some reason anvils and grindstones also still work. I'm not sure if they change their collision box. I don't think they do, but yeah, they work. And lastly, we have walls and fences which do work, but because of their weird collision box on top of them, the Trident also gets pushed to the side and then it just falls down, so it's not that useful. And I would recommend using grindstones, trapdoors or glass panes if you're making a Trident killer. And as far as I know, glass panes are the only one that still work and are also not solid blocking. You place a trapdoor in the correct direction, of course, and then you place a grindstone or something else below it, and that's it for the tutorial. Now you just throw in the Trident, make sure it's on top of the grindstone or whatever you're using, and it will update. Now if you somehow forget to turn it off and then relog like that, yeah, very good relog, but now the Trident isn't updating. As you can see, it's just sitting there. You turn it off and then you relog again, and now as you can see, the Trident killer is working again. When we relog, the Trident's updating, it's hitting all the creepers, nothing's wrong with it. I hope this clears all the confusions about relog square proofing. And the last thing I want to say is be wary of stairs. They look like they change their collision box, but in reality they don't really. And if you place them like this, Then this one seems to have changed its collision box, but that's just visual, and if you throw a Trident in there, it will go right through it. The collision box is actually still like this if this stair wasn't even there. Why?